Welcome to the Fit Fatherhood Podcast, a show where we talk about health and wellness for busy dads, setting goals, putting action plans into those goals, nutrition, exercise, all the things that it takes to be good role models for our families. We just wrapped up a 5-week foundational health challenge a week and a half ago now. And our guest today was an integral part of that challenge. I hope he's actually here because his video is not showing up at the moment. Jeff McGrew, if you're still here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There he is.
Appreciate you being here, brother.
Absolutely. Glad we can make it happen.
Yeah. I know we're on 3 corners of the country right now. And so there's a little laggy issue, but we're going to make this thing work. Like I said, I appreciate you not only being here on a Sunday, we are pre-recording this on Sunday afternoon, but being an integral part of this challenge, kind of not only taking part, but being a support pillar for the other members of the Fit Fathers that were taking part in this challenge. That's a super huge part of the Fit Fatherhood community, is the support and the accountability that goes into all this. So again, I really appreciate you being here. We do have some questions for you lined up. The first one being, why did you join this 5-week challenge?
Man, I appreciate you asking. And I appreciate you both having me on for this because what you guys are both doing is amazing. And there isn't another community like it that kind of focuses around men, around our mindset, around our struggles, around empowering each other to be better, not only as men, but as well as fathers. That is ultimately what attracted me to your group. And knowing that both of you were obviously 2 pillars within this community and up and rising individuals, fathers themselves, it empowered me to want to be better with them, also to help people within the community as well. I see what both of you are doing, and it makes me more passionate to be able to help others like ourselves.
I appreciate that, man. It gets me
Absolutely.
a little teary-eyed coming from somebody like yourself that I, look up to, as well as somebody that's just constantly trying to learn and grow and be better as a husband, as a father, in their business, as just a human being. So I really appreciate that. Zach, you want to take us off with the next question?
Yeah. So I appreciate you coming on for the challenge and for this. So we went through the 5 weeks, and just a quick recap for anybody listening. We did week 1 as the food and time audit. So what are you doing all day? What are you eating throughout the day? Just kind of makes you more mindful. And then the second week, we went into exercise. So how can we add into our schedule that we just figured out what our time looks like? How do we add in 30, 45 minutes of exercise every day? Week 3 was adding in that water. So making sure that we get that 80 to 100 ounces as much as we can. Jeff, I know you hit that pretty easily and pretty consistently because of what you do. Week 4 was adding the veggies in 1 or 2 meals a day. And then finally adding things off, or capping things off with 30 minutes of family time. So as a quick recap of all that, Jeff, obviously you know about it. Which of those did you find the easiest, and which ones did you find challenging, and were either of those a surprise for you?
Okay. I like that question, actually. First off, I mean, the challenge itself, what you guys were doing for those 5 weeks and allowing us to start this at the beginning of the year and kind of step into what you guys are projecting for the rest of the year with this community, that was exciting in itself. You targeted weeks, you targeted great goals and good habits to implement into fathers and into men that are trying to be better within themselves. So I love that right off the bat. Obviously, the easiest, like you said, Zach, had to have been the water. I mean, just because of my W-2 and the fact that I'm constantly drinking and hydrating daily, and just bad choices, I guess, for drinks has always been an easy thing for me to stay away from. I've always been a water guy. My entire life just been about water, and not even flavored water. I recently just stepped into tea. I mean, and even though I knew the benefits and the qualities of good teas, I just enjoyed pure water, that you can't go wrong with straight H2O. So that being the easiest week by far. And the hardest week had to have been the exercise. Like I said, going into this challenge, talking to both of you, individually as well as together within lives, within your guys' lives, discussing my exercise issues, struggling with getting it to fit into my schedule more consistently, as well as making sure that I hit those daily goals, because I want it to be a non-negotiable within my but obviously my ever-evolving schedule was struggling and holding me back from that. Being able to talk to both of you and being able to utilize this weekly challenge, even though it was just 1 week, going through the time audit challenge and seeing where I could put that workout each week was beneficial moving into the second and third week. So it really set me up for consistent growth habit. And even till now, we're an additional week and a half out of the challenge, and that was week 3, and I've been consistent 5 days a week doing my workouts. So I mean, the proof was in the pudding.
I love that. Zach and I have both now listened to this book. I might butcher the title of it, but like All It Takes Is a Goal, and he mentions in there like just starting with 10 or 15 minutes and finding just 15 minutes for your goal. Where can I fit this in, and try it for a week? And that's a big reason why we did everything in week chunks, is like, just start with a week. And I wanted to mention too, part of the 5 weeks as well that Zach didn't touch on, and something that you're already aware of and you're doing inside your business and your life as well, but was taking a goal and breaking it down for everybody. And that was part of the foundational 5 weeks for us. Was, yes, we were doing the time audit, we were tracking the water, tracking the exercise, tracking the vegetables, and tracking family time, but we were doing little things as well along the way, just to kind of set you up for when the 5 weeks is out. So and genius. For those who don't know, why do you drink so much water at your job?
Yeah, so 10 hours a day, 4 days a week, I do fuels reduction and wildlife conservation, where we utilize chainsaws working around my area to limit the chance of wildfire spread within our summer months throughout the year. And it's a high demand job. It's a high demand on the body, as well as the calorie intake that I have to take in daily. So not only am I staying consistent on the hydration, that way I don't deal with the fatigue, deal with the muscle aches or the cramps, which, I mean, it's been proven that, I mean, I don't get cramps often, and I see a lot of guys that do, and they're not drinking a lot of water. So I'm always harping on them about the hydrate. I mean, your body is a machine, then water is the oil running that machine. And if you're not getting enough in the body, you're going to feel it. You're going to see those effects. I mean, drastically, if you're not getting that good intake and still maintaining a high rate of exercise, it's just a need. So it's always been a push for me. Being 15 years of my job now, that's been an added need every year. And I can't harp on it more about the new guys coming into my job.
Yeah, I love that. I just wanted to make sure that we gave a shout out for the people that are out there, trying to prevent the fires in California. They're going to happen anyway. But
we are there. We are here. I promise you.
Yeah. I know. And you mentioned, I guess you kind of mentioned it, but you're doing something different than a lot of the people that come into our community are doing. You're actually trying to put on weight, which a lot of the people that come in are trying to lose weight. And so, I just wanted to highlight out there, we've taken a little bit different approach with you and are trying to continue to iterate as we go forward. Like, how can we get more things in? How can we get more protein? Maybe some quicker acting, slower acting carbohydrates and things like that. So that's been a really fun thing for Zach and I don't want to speak for Zach, but to be able to like take a little different approach. Yeah, we can do both sides of the coin essentially, and we could talk about, and we'd like to talk about both sides of the coin. But what's your, from the 5 weeks, like what's your biggest takeaway? What was the biggest, if you had like an aha moment, anything like that?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I got it right here. Small, consistent actions can make massive results. And it's proven within those weekly challenges. After we accomplish each week, and then within the community, all of us talking and conversing and keeping each other accountable to those goals and those daily tasks. I mean, it was just throughout each week that even taking small steps, daily steps, adding a couple of vegetables into each meal can have a dramatic effect on long-term results. And I think, like you said, those foundational pillars that you used for each week can be broken down not into goals, but into good long-term habits. And being able to utilize those for longer lengths of time within our life is obviously the goal of every challenge that we put on. So, or what that you guys put on, and within ourselves, that we put on within ourselves, we obviously want to continue those good habits, to continue those good goals, and keep pushing forward. So just starting and staying consistent to the habits that you want within your life.
Love it.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, that's the point of this challenge. I think you were one of the people that took, away that consistency is the biggest thing. And that's what this challenge was meant to be. It's something that's doable every week that we can build on. So, mission accomplished, I guess, for you specifically. And a couple other people I know that we talked to. I had Jim McGugan on last week live for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So you talked about consistent small actions and kind of hitting those and building those. So, you got that from the challenge. What are you doing moving forward, or what is your focus moving forward after the challenge now that it's over, just for you personally, and you have a little bit more freedom on kind of what you want to choose and what you attack each and every day?
Oh, absolutely. Going forward, obviously, like I said at the beginning, staying consistent with that focus on my exercises daily, making sure that I'm hitting that as a daily non-negotiable at least 5 days a week. You touch bases on it a little bit as well, Nathaniel, but I am trying to increase my weight, not only by lean protein, obviously, and not fat. But with that being said, I want to make sure that I'm hitting those daily protein intakes, making sure that I'm getting my high caloric intake. That way I'm not burning fat, wasting too much energy while my body is on downtime. And we also touched bases on it a little bit as well, Zach, about utilizing a casein before bed. That way my body's not depleting energy while I sleep. So all of those key things throughout the weeks, this challenge were brought into me, as well as brought into me from you, has been crucial in moving forward on keeping consistent to that daily goal that I want to make.
Yeah, I love that. And we're, obviously here supporting you as much as we can and providing you any feedback that we can to help you achieve that. And that's why we have this community here. And, Nathaniel touched on it as well, is that most people are in here to improve their health and fitness and lose weight. You're kind of doing the opposite and putting on weight. Right. But I think it's important to highlight that all of those habits are the same between those two different people. The difference is you're just eating more of the good stuff, proteins and carbs, really, than you really need. And everybody else is just looking to typically just dial stuff in, right? If you're trying to lose weight or you're heavier than you want to be, it's typically you just don't have those foundational habits, and just getting those will lose the weight. And then we'll get to the point where we can kind of do what we're doing with you and dial things down as needed. So those same foundations, which is why we picked the 5 that we did, apply for both populations. So, I love that that's what you're doing moving forward. And I love that we can come in here and help, not only as here's a couple of guidance points or tips that we're going to provide you, but you can come in and we can provide that accountability as well.
I love it. Like you said, having that community of diversified people, regardless of where we are, what our goals and struggles are, you guys have built out a community of like-minded individuals that are just consistent on being better within themselves and wanting to be better dads. So as you guys produce more and more great content like you have been, and these upcoming challenges, I mean, it's going to allow more and more people to come to this community, regardless of who they are or what they're working on, be able to say, I'm comfortable here. I can stay accountable here. These are my people. I love what you guys are doing, man.
Appreciate you being here, man. You're one of our founding fathers. We look forward to continuing to grow this thing out with you as part of it. I appreciate you being the big head here on the podcast.
Never a problem at all.
all that being said,
well.
wrapping it up, for those of you out here that might be just finding us, we do have a Facebook group, a free Facebook group to come into, where we are providing as much value as we can. We have a free coaching call every Tuesday night at 7:45 p.m. Eastern time. Once you get inside the school community, that's where you really unlock the extra value that Zach and I can kind of provide, where we tailor one-on-one things, like we're talking about with Jeff, where we're actually really honing in on his kind of bigger macro things that are going to help him to put on that extra lean weight. He's not looking to put on just any weight. He's looking to put on a specific weight so he can work that chainsaw freaking better. But we really look forward to helping you guys out. This is something that Zach and I are very passionate about. And outside of the fitness side of things, just being better dads, better role models, better husbands. Jeff is an inspiration for us and a guiding force in our community. And so we appreciate him and the other founding fathers that we have in the group right now, and look forward to adding more of you. Zach, do you have any other things to send us off with? I know I always miss something. I feel like
No, I mean, I think you got everything this time, as usual. Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, the Facebook group. If you need anything else in the meantime, definitely reach out to us. We're happy to message you back and forth, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. On top of the free call on Tuesdays, I also do a nutrition talk webinar just about different topics on Thursdays. That's at 7:30 Eastern. You can register for that. Get all future live calls and all past recordings as well. So just another thing to add. So I guess you did forget something.
I did. Appreciate you both for being here. Thank you again, Jeff, for coming on, taking time out of your super busy day, and again for just being an integral part of the community, man.
Appreciate you both for being here, and thank you for having me on, man.